Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I was up today because I got something sent to me about this new rapper named Bobby Shmurda. I guess that's his nickname. I'm sure he has another name. And and I was checking out his music, and it was violent. It was it really problematic. Um, I don't think people really understand what the real life implications are when you mass market the idea of black men murdering each other, black men getting involved in illegal activity, filling up the prisons, drinking, smoking, thugging, killing, disrespecting women, all that stuff. And I saw it, and of course, the song bothered me, and I felt bad for the brother because he's very smart, very talented. But here's the thing. I didn't really get concerned about what I was seeing until I looked at the number of views that his video had. I think he had 14 million views. Now, I'm going to try to lay something out here, and I want you to just have an open mind and try to hear what I got to say. I know a lot of people aren't going to get it. They're going to think I'm attacking hip hop. They're going to think I'm attacking artists. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm really talking about is protecting black youth. Now, when I look at this video and I see this young man, spitting these lyrics, he's clearly got talent. He's very good. I noticed in his song he mentioned that his father was in prison, and unfortunately, a lot of his friends are going to go to prison. Part of it because we have a society that is hell bent on incarcerating young black men, but also because in terms of our reaction to that society, we have a lot of young black men that are just misguided. I don't live too far away from Minister Louis Farrakhan, and what I respect about him is that told him this when I spoke to him. We talked for several hours, and he talks to a lot of rappers, from Rick Ross to everybody else. What I respect about him is he's able to bring that greatness out of black men, and that's what we really need to do. But what I really saw with these teenagers that were in the video, the guy rapping, was that these were great men, otherwise brilliant men, who had been misguided, who've been misled by a society that tells you as a black man your job is to stay high and drunk as much as possible, to carry a gun, to blow another black man's brains out, and to go do things that are going to put you basically in prison or in a casket. And that's societal design. That is what America has always wanted for black men, because an intelligent and empowered black man is one of the most dangerous threats to society that there is. So they distract you by keeping you high and drunk and thugging and turning your anger and energy towards your brother. Now, with that being said, I don't hold this video against the artist himself because he's a kid. He's trying to get big. At that age, even with me going to school as long as I have, at that age, I didn't understand the implications of this kind of thing. I didn't understand how the mass promotion of violence amongst teenagers can affect an entire society, can affect an entire community. I didn't understand what happens to a young black man who spends his time drinking, smoking, thugging, and engaging in illegal activity. What happens to that man when he's 27, 28 years old and he's somebody's daddy? And those kids don't have a good daddy because a man has a hard time being a good daddy when he's always high on drugs. He can't really be a good daddy if he's always up in the liquor bottle. He can't be a good daddy if he's out balling so much that he throws all his money away. It's very difficult to fulfill the role of father and husband when you're living that lifestyle. And the fact that this lifestyle is being so heavily marketed to black men, it should be disturbing to you. It should make you as angry as a person can possibly be. It should make you want to go and really go out and almost kill somebody, because they're killing your babies when they put their poison into their heads. They are murdering your children with these messages. It is weaponized, highly targeted, genocidal brainwashing. That is what it is. And the idea that we've been trained like little monkeys almost to celebrate our own genocide is beyond appalling. And so here's the thing. I'm gonna start. I'm not really gonna talk so much about this brother who made the song, Bobby Shmurda. He's a teenager. He's following fads. He doesn't get it. Maybe he'll figure it out when he's 30, 40 years old. Hopefully he won't learn the hard way. I know a lot of brothers who learn these lessons while they're in prison. They learn these lessons when they get older, and they see how their actions have affected their own children. They learn it later. I'm not going to really talk about him, but what I am going to talk about is where we are right now in Black history. We are at a critical juncture in our history as a people, and the reason that we are at a critical juncture is because, among many things, the recent protest in Ferguson, Missouri, against the police that murdered Michael Brown, that was phenomenal in the sense that for the first time you saw Black people of all socioeconomic classes really coming together to challenge police brutality, police misconduct, mass incarceration, etc. I was ecstatic about it because just a few weeks earlier I'd agreed to support Cornel West, Carl Dix, Jerome McCoy, and Michelle Alexander in an October month of resistance against police terror and mass incarceration. In case you're wondering, it's very difficult to get a lot of Black people to really get behind something like that because, unfortunately, we're just trained to focus on instant gratification, consumerism, and all these other things that really don't matter. But once the Michael Brown thing happened, it was easier to help people understand what's going on with police terror. So you see people protesting, you see people using their energy and applying it to fight against racial oppression. I thought that was amazing. You even saw rappers get involved. They made a song called Don't Shoot, where a lot of big artists participated on this song. I thought that was great. But here's the problem now. You're running into hypocrisy. How the hell are you going to make a song called Don't Shoot when you're telling police not to shoot Michael Brown, but yet you turn around and make a song about Black men killing each other in the street? How can you protest white men who celebrate our murder, but yet say nothing when Black men celebrate our murder? How can you fight against and stand up against violence against your own people from other ethnic groups, but yet say nothing when you are working with those same white people to promote music that is teaching you to teach other young teenagers to murder their brother? Understand this. Understand how sick that makes you, how ridiculous that makes us look, and how ridiculous we should feel with this kind of blatant hypocrisy. And this is real. Okay, if you're a wealthy artist or you are a BET executive and you've got the nice tie because you went to Harvard like Reginald Hudlin or Deborah Lee and you're doing quite well, then for you it's just entertainment. For you it's like, it's just music. Music don't affect nobody. Come on down to the south side of Chicago. Come down here to where kids are walking around with AR-15s and AK-47s and 17-year-old kids blasting rap music in their car when they're doing drive-bys on each other. Come see that for real and understand that when you are mass promoting this genocide, it is having a very real effect on the lives of people. Little babies are getting their heads blown off. Mothers are being shot in the street. Young children with infinite potential are being raised to be thugs and killers and dealers before they get a chance to realize they can be so much more. So here's what I think. We're caught in this hypocrisy. It's up to us to decide if we're going to acknowledge it. You're going to see some folks that are just going to always be cooning for the dollar bill. They will go and they will piss on their own mother to take a white man's dollar if that's what they got to do. They don't give a damn about their community because for them, every unethical act is justified by a bigger paycheck. And for those people, I feel sorry for them. I'm a finance professor. I understand. I learned more about money before I was 23 than most people will learn in a lifetime. I was teaching college at the age of 22, teaching finance. So I know the power of money. I understand how money works. But let me tell you this. If you are living your life where all you do is know how to worship a damn dollar bill, then your soul has become rotted to the point of absolute disgust. You have no value to your community. You are not an asset to Black people. You are an enemy to Black people because you've committed yourself to aligning yourself with those who've been working hard for our oppression and our genocide for the last 400 years. The next thing I want to say is this. I'm going to reach out to some attorneys that I know because we need some Black lawyers to go to these record labels and start suing record labels for mass promoting Black genocide. Teenagers don't really understand the depth and the breadth and the scope of their actions. They don't realize at the age of 17, 16, 18 years old, especially if they haven't had a good education. We know the school system sucks. They don't know the implications of what they're saying on wax or what they're saying in the studio. Okay. But those old white men and sometimes old black men who are sitting in those offices, who are mass promoting death and genocide and murder to the point where the YouTube video gets 14 million views, those people are every bit as bad as the Nazis who promoted the mass extermination of Jews during World War II. Those individuals are war criminals. They should be prosecuted. They should be sued. They should be knocked out of business. And we shouldn't take this shit anymore. Excuse my French. We cannot take this. We cannot allow these people promoting music to our children that they would never promote to their own kids. They would never teach young Jewish children to go out and kill other Jewish kids. They would never allow this kind of negative energy to be sprinkled onto their people, especially if it was being promoted by people outside of their ethnic group. They would not allow it. So as black people, the next step, when you go beyond the Michael Brown outrage, which is starting to die down and leading to almost nothing substantive, let's take that energy, move forward, and deal with these record labels that are making money and profiting from the death of your children. Because guess what? Even if you raise your kids right, even if you teach them to do the right things, eventually that little boy's going to run into a thug. And that thug's going to blow his brains out because he spent his whole life being brainwashed to be nothing but a killer. I had a very good friend whose mother was driving to church, and she was 63, and she was driving through a green light, and some young dude, 17, 18 years old, who'd been trained to be a thug, was high and drunk, driving 80 miles an hour, ran the red light, and slammed into her mother. And so now my friend does not have a mother anymore because this toxic, weaponized, genocidal brainwashing has affected so many of our young people. And as the rapper D1 told me when we had an interview, you got to check out the interview. It was a good conversation. I respect that brother so much. He's like what Lil Wayne would be if Lil Wayne actually cared about black people. D1 said that when his homeboy got murdered down in New Orleans, he said, I guarantee you, when they were in the car getting pumped up to do the drive-by on my boy, he said, I guarantee you that they wasn't listening to no love songs. They wasn't listening to no country music. Chances are they were listening to violent hip-hop that's being mass promoted by big corporations that allows them to profit from the genocide of young black children. This is not something we should allow. It's something we have to stop right now, and I don't give a damn if it's BET or any of these other big white corporations, because BET is white-owned. BET is not a black company. Let's stop believing that it is. It's not. I don't care who it is. You've got to protect your children. You have an obligation as a black American to protect your children from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And every black child in America is your child. A lot of these children, because of the rise of prisons and because of what's been going on for the last 30, 40 years, a lot of these children don't have parents. So we need a fatherhood bailout. Every strong, able-bodied, intelligent black man who cares about this issue needs to be front and center, step up, and commit yourself to protecting black children. The same thing goes for our mothers and our strong women as well. We can't allow this to happen. So I'm going to talk to my friends about filing a lawsuit. I don't know what the legal standing is. I know that we have the moral standing. And if the lawsuit does not work, then we're going to try something else. Because it's time to end this ridiculousness. This doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. I'm gone. Peace.